What's up? The 1B here, and this is something a little different that I kind of wanted to record. So a friend came to me and he wanted to use this picture here, and it says sheltering inside with a good book is the best way to deal with the heat. So what he wants is he wants me to remove heat and put coronavirus. So he's kind of turning it into a little meme. So I told him, I said, well, so there's a couple of ways to go about this. There is a few resources out there where you could go and see if this font is available or something close to it. But I wanted to try something a little different. So I said, can you get any more screenshots? Because it looks like, let's just go ahead and grab this right here. Let's just go out real quick. So I haven't decided coronavirus. I should probably capitalize them. I think I just decided. There's this word here. Making weird noises there. And we're going to take this brush, add a layer. So there's no C's. So we need a C. There's definitely O's. Let's see, R right here. There's an N here. This is basically the first thing I did. Like, I was like, okay, like, how would I go about this? And obviously the first idea was to drop this into there's a website called, What the Font, right? And basically what you would do is you would take the picture and you would drop it in here. And we might as well do it just because I'm already here doing it. So, yeah, do I want to, let's see, what is it? Click here, identify the selected font. Yeah, we'll just do that. So you basically select the font and it gives you a representation, tells you where to get it and how much. So I have Adobe CC. So let's see if Adobe CC has this. I doubt it does. Adobe type font. Typekit. That's what it is. Adobe fonts. And we want to browse fonts. Am I logged in? I am. Okay, so what am I looking for here? Let's search for Cloyce Old Style. Right? We'll just try Cloyce Old Style. So I searched it, and sorry we couldn't find any match. So now what would happen is I would have to go to Browse Fonts, and we would have to go through everything. So it's a serif, right? Because it has these little pieces on the end. And I would have to go through and manually look for something similar, which is not what I want to do. That's a little bit slow of a process. So what I said is, can you get any more screenshots? Like, I think he was playing this game. I'm not sure what game it's from. And I said, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to need more text. And I can just cut them out and make the word in myself. So, like I said, there's no C. We got the R, the O, the R, another O, N, and then the A, right? There's no V. We need an I. Got another R, the U. Is there a U? I don't think there's a U. And then there's an S, right? So obviously we have a little S because we need a little one. So we need a C and a V. So now he sent me this. Oh, what is this? What letters? We'll call that our marker. And so he sent me this other screenshot, which we don't need any of this other stuff. So we're just going to go ahead immediately. This is too big, so I'm just going to immediately cut all this out. Okay, and we're going to go like this. Control-Shift-I, which is going to select everything outside of that box that I made. And then we're just going to go ahead and delete it. Whoops, that was a mistake. That's exactly what I wanted to do, but I accidentally deleted everything else. I like to keep a copy of that just in case. We're going to go ahead and drop that there. Make a duplicate of that. And let's just go ahead and lock both of these. Hide them. I like to call this originals. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. Okay, now let's go back over here. And let's hit Control-Shift-I. Go up to this layer. Let's go ahead and delete. Now we only have what we absolutely need. Hide that. Turn this back on. We have what I need there. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we have the originals here. So we're gonna call this meme original. We're gonna call this extra text original. I like to name all my stuff. We're gonna call this meme working and extra text working. So these are our working files. This is our text. This is what letters I can use. Okay, so let's go ahead and move this because we kind of need that out of the way. And then we're going to go ahead and do meme working, and we're going to use the clone tool, the clone stamp tool. And what we're going to do is we're going to borrow from this background to cover this up, so it looks like it's completely gone. And that's why I like to keep the originals, because if for some weird reason that those get messed up. So we're going to do that. Whoops, not that one, this one. We're just going to click there and just going to paint over that. See? And then I'm just going to click it again just to make sure. And we're not going to run into any weird. And then something that I like to do occasionally, so let's turn this down a little bit. Because I've been kind of pulling from this side, but let's go ahead and Control Z that. Let's actually grab from right here. This is the spot that we want. And that way what you're doing is you're kind of borrowing from the areas that are closest to it. Kind of getting rid of gotta be careful not to go too far because it kind of reprints the text. And then this is something that I missed last time, I think. Okay, so I think it's gone. So we now have a clean looking piece here where we could actually put anything at this point. Sheltering inside with a good book is the best way to deal with coronavirus, breaking up, anything, right? So now this is your template here. So we're just gonna go ahead and make a duplicate of that. I'm gonna hide that. We're gonna call this now meme template, right? That's the template now. We're gonna lock that because we don't want to mess with that. We're gonna lock these too because we don't want to touch those either because they're just extras to point at stuff. Okay, so first we're gonna start with the C. We're gonna find over here which I want. The only thing is it's not a capital C. Where was it? These are nimble and rapid blows equal to damage inflicted right here. So all I did is I come and I grab this lasso tool and I just draw around it and I try to get the pixels because there's a little bit of weird pixelation around the edges. So I would try to get that in there. And then we're just going to hit Control C. Control C. Make sure you have the right layer selected. And then we're going to hide that. I'm going to hit Control D to get rid of the selection. And I'm going to hit Control V. And now we have my C. So now we're already in the process here. I'm actually going to do something real quick just to give me, I'm going to call this C. I'm going to hide that. And what I want to do here is we kind of want to see where the box is, where this word would lie. Right? Because you can kind of see here the actual letter, and then there's like a little overlay here in the pixels. So this is basically what we're going to use to size up the this coronavirus going here. And we're just going to fill this space in. Go new. I'm actually going to transform the selection just a little bit. I want to make this long. I want to make sure I get enough room to fill that in, and any other word possibly. Right? This is, we're going to call this letterbox, just to kind of give us an idea of what's going to go there. We're going to Control D that. We're going to lock it. And we're going to hide this. Now, we're going to go that. Back this one. Now we have this here. Here. And we're going to actually bring it up above. So that's got to be bigger, right? It's going to be filling most of it height-wise. But let's just get all the letters together first before we start thinking about how they're going to be. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to turn off what letters. Make sure we select working, copy. Oops, we're going to want the lasso tool. Just go ahead and select this. Control C. Back up over here. Control V. Let go. Right here. CO. Hit that V again. Now we have the other O. Do it once. Okay, so we'll go. This is going to be O1 will be O2. We'll call this C. Then bring up this again. So we have the C, O, and then we need the R. And the R's. Whoa, 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 whoa. The R's over here. I hold Control Shift and then mouse wheel to scroll in. We'll see. Oops, not selecting the right layer. Have to make sure that we're on meme working when we're Control C'ing. Control D. Control V. Grab that. Pop. Rona. There we go. And we're going to call that R. I'm just going to put a 1 there just because, you know, even though there's going to, oh, there's going to be 2 actually. I thought there was only 1 this time. So we're going to go ahead and call that R2. R2. Okay. Next is the N, which is right here. So let's go back to the meme working copy. I'm holding Control Alt to zoom in and out. Control moves me left and right, and Alt allows me to move in and out, and then Shift is up and down. Just for Shift and mouse wheel, sorry. And let's see, this lasso tool, which I'm clicking. There's a hotkey for it. What is it? I think it's L. Control C. Go back to the top. We're going to Control V that. Here. Drop it in. Change the name. So like I like to name all of my layers, and I try to do it as I'm going along. Sometimes I'm working fast and I don't want to stop my workflow to name the layer, but when I'm doing stuff like this, I try to name it because there's going to be so much, and I want to make sure it's organized and I know what is what. So layer naming has been one of the habits that I've like really got into, and sometimes I even forego workflow just to get the names in. And sometimes I'll just stop. I'm like, all right, there's way too many unnamed things. I need to go through and see what all these are before it gets out of control. If you need a break, it's actually a good thing to do that, and then you can save and move forward, which reminds me we need to save. So now we just need the A, which is right here. Sure, again, we're on meme working copy. Going to Control C, Control V, switch over to your move tool. It's in here. Name it again. Now we have Corona. So we're in a good place right now. And see, my box is looking pretty short. These are going to get resized a little bit. The C is going to get bigger, and these are the gaps in here. Because you can see in some of these, the pixels are touching just barely. Like this outer pixel range is just barely touching. So we'll use a lot of this to kind of get the spacing right. We're actually going to go like this. Call this letters. There's an extra T in there. And now this controls all of those. This folder here. So now we need the V, which there's no V here. So we have to pull this back up. Make sure you have it selected. And we got to think about right here. So the only issue that I have with this screenshot is this right here is a different brown than this. But the thing is once I go in and I trim it the best I can, it's going to be no problem. And I can always copy the background and use this, I can always use, excuse me, I can always use the stamp tool to, no. Let me just paste this in. My brain is processing this while, okay. So I can always use the stamp tool that we use to make the heat disappear, the word heat, back here. This, to get that to disappear. We can use the same tool to paint around the edges of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to cut this out a little bit closer, right? And then we're going to take this edge and we'll paint just a touch towards the edge of it. And maybe what I'll do even is I'll put it on a different layer so that I can change the opacity of it, or maybe even the blending mode, to just slightly change that to make it look better. We'll see. It might, even once I go in and cut it, it might not even, this is the V. Might not even need it. Okay. I'll save. Okay. So now we want that letter box again. We're gonna move this over here, and we want that R, number 2. That needs to be spaced a little bit. We have multiple eyes to use here, so just make sure you select the working copy. So this one's got more space over here than I think this one, so we're going to use this one. Control C it, make sure you go into your folder here, Control V. This is our I. And then this is actually the V here. And, oh, you know what I forgot? Let's go ahead and save. Is that this has the U as well, which is right here. So let's go ahead and retry that. Control D clears your selection. Nope. Control C will hide that. Control D again to clear it. Go ahead and hit V to grab it. Make sure we move that to the top here. I forgot to just click and drag. That's the U. And then we just need the S now, which we're going to use this S right here. This one's got more space, it looks like. Lasso tool is L. Make sure we're back on the meme working copy. said, try to get that outer, that like blending into the background area selected when you're doing it, just so that you have it, even if you're getting rid of it. Go ahead and select the V tool. Grab that, and we're going to put it over here. And then now we have all of our letters. S1. Okay. We now have all of the letters we need. And we're going to go ahead and get rid of this. Not get rid of it, but I hid it. So now we know it's gone. Text working. Do we need that anymore? Template is there. I'm just trying to decide if I can clean up any of these files out of the way so that we can just work with what we need to work with. I think this stuff here can go. We're going to call that, we'll just call it extras. I use extras a lot when I just don't know what to do with it. So we're going to put that there. We're going to keep template out because the original file, like if you want to edit this, you're going to want that. Well, that's an extra. We'll just put that in an extra. Screw it. Okay, so now we have the meme working, which is locked down now. There's no reason to do that. We can do this, hide the box, and we pretty much have letters to deal with. So the first thing we're going to want to do is clean up these funky letters. It's the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to delete. Whoops. Let's Control Z that. This is the C. Delete. And this time trying to get as much of these extra pixels out, actually, now that I think about it. We're going to go like that. We're going to just kind of clean it up. All right. Those ones are fine. The V. In all reality, I'm probably going to use the stamp tool to clean these up even more. This one. This. I'm not going to want to ruin any of it. Ew. Okay. Now we're going to work on spacing. This C has to be bigger. It's the capital C in coronavirus. So I want where it is right now to stay the same. I'm going to duplicate it for a second. I'm just going to bring it over here and I'm going to see that I'm going to line up the bottom thick, like this darkness, and we're going to just roll that over. And I'm going to make it bigger, and I'm going to see what happens if I... Okay. Darkness, it could probably go one more. Ah. I'm happy with that. So that needs to be cleaned up. So now we can take this one. We're going to call this original C. Drop that into extras. Yeah, we'll just lock it. Let's grab this one. This is now capital. Label it just to make sure. And it might need to be cleaned up, maybe even sharpened. Shoot. Oh. Back this letter box. Let's hide the original C. We know that this edge needs to go out like this, right? So those are like... It's basically exactly where it needs to be. And then, when we look at good, this part here... No. Like that. So let's look at the first O. This pix is just 1 pixel off from the main portion of the C, which we're going to call right here. So if it's 1 pixel off, I'm going to move it here. And this needs to be... And then the R, you know, the grays are touching there. We're going to take this R, put it down 1. We're going to put it right there. R2, O2. That. I almost want it to be here, but I think it's got to go there. Then we're going to grab the N. We're going to look how the N is with this I. Is there any other N's sheltering inside? It's always with the I's. So we're going to just kind of play it by ear, right? Like it's the gray is kind of touching. So there's its gray. Here's its gray. There. Take this A. Like there's about a space between the E and the A. I don't like that. So I'm going to do it here. Yeah, it's about a space. Matter of fact. So now we can take this V, which we're going to say is there, and we're going to just blow it up until it hits that point. Now we just need enough space. It's 2 words. What we're going to do is we're going to grab this and it's E and W. Spacer. It's not quite right. Go ahead and call this word spacer. Going to use this red. Control D. And there's the little blend area there, so we know that top there. B. Its little gray spot. Do I want this up a little? I'm going to say right there. Okay. Lock that, hide it. It's I. Like the darkness is basically 1 pixel off. Down to here. Over. Might be too tight right here. Right there. R. R is touching, so we're going to put it there. U, which we need it to be the same size as these. Shrink it down. size. This is actually, we're going to just use the same principle of one gray off. This actually needs to be up here. Maybe this does need that. Nope, it's got to be the other way. It's got to be like that. Then the S. So now we're getting the spacing all pretty much done. One more. Okay, now the letters are in their places. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to duplicate them and we're going to lock this one. Put this, we're going to call this original letters now. Down in the originals. Call this letters working. Here. Going to get rid of the letterbox. So, to clean this up, there's a few things that I feel like I need to do. This is kind of the tannish color. So let's see what happens if I blend this. Not black to come through, but not. Ooh, luminosity. Not bad. Please. Okay, so that needs to be sharpened. It looks fine. It needs to be sharpened. So we're going to go filter, and we're going to go to sharpen, and we're going to just sharpen it. And we're going to go to filter again, and we're going to do it again. I'm going to unselect it so that I can kind of see it. It's a little dark. So maybe this, where's it at? Go to a different, maybe this one. Luminosity was good. It's just too dark. Maybe we lower the opacity on it. Oh. I'm going to bring down the opacity on it for now. We're going to grab the V and we're going to grab the U. We're going to do the same thing to those. We're going to call it luminosity. A filter and we're going to sharpen. Probably only going to let me do one at a time. Sharpen. Sharpen. U. Filter. Okay. So now, let me. Stuttering. Maybe because I have a lot of video stuff moving on right now. Need to zoom out. Hello. Okay, so as of right now, everything looks really good. The S looks a little low. Actually, because of the U. So we'll lengthen the U to bring it down. Then, can I zoom in? All right, let's file, save. I just need to look at something here. Break. Plenty of space. What to do is, nope, recording. Everything looks good. How come I can't? Okay, there we go. Maybe it just needed to catch up. Go ahead and do this. Let's grab this U, and I think this needs to come down 1 pixel. Actually, now I can go up. Pixel. Perfect. Opaque that to like 80%. The V with the same thing. Control S. Zoom out. Still needs some work. Those letters need to be fixated into this situation. They could be maybe blacker. Go ahead and duplicate these again. And let's merge group. Fuck this. Merged. Hide that one. See that? Now needs to be luminosity. They all that ended up that way. Control S. Getting there. 1 pixel. Stamp. Four? No. Too small of you. Oh. Gaming working. All right, here we go. All right, as you can see, we've significantly cleaned it up. And I'm actually thinking of an idea where we remove this, take its opacity down, this selection, large, I'm okay with that though. Then we're going to take it from here and we're going to go Control C, Control V. Right? So now you got this blockage. 100%. This layer, and we're going to just see what happens when I maybe what's going to happen is I can use it to them all the same sort of coloring. I'm gonna see the edges not being as smooth still on these. Just grab the stamp tool again. Whoop. Unsharpened. Virus. Oh, virus. Still that way. Grab this. Above. So. And we're just through. It. Maybe even a little dark. I think this U overtook this R. Color evener is what we'll call it. This is black lettering. This doesn't seem clean. Maybe they need to be. Everything else looks fine. It's just those three letters. It's like they're too thick. I just don't like that V. The U and the C are close. This R can be fixed very simply by grabbing the R here. 2. Duplicate it and drop it. This. Back to life there. Up. Merge down. Color from the background. It's all kind of almost blends in now. It's really just this V. C's a little crooked on this point here too. I 100% that. Grab this. No, it's too dark. Just not happy with this V. This is the V that we pulled from. think we're going to call it there. We're going to see if my friend can maybe get me a capital C and V. And other than that, though, if he can't, this is going to be a finished video. I don't like the way that looks, really. The V, especially the C, is fine. I would say happiness-wise, I'm accidentally erased something there. I don't know what I did. Oh no, it's on this layer. We're gonna save and if he does give me a new text, I will update it. If not, basically this is the end of the video. I would say I'd give it an 80%. If I had to grade it, 85% maybe. That C and the V just don't look right. I've already spent almost an hour on this. What should be something pretty simple. Maybe I could have been a little better with grabbing the C and V. But it was all just practice, trying to figure out using the stamp tool a little bit better. Maybe, just an alternate method. Like I said, I could have found a font that was similar and just covered it and retyped it out, but I wanted to do something, a different way. So, yep, this is it for now. Like I said, if this is not it, then what'll happen is there'll be some cuts, and I'll go back and I'll fix it, and you'll get the full video. But for now, this is it. Peace. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and if you did, please click the circle in the middle to subscribe. The rectangle on your left is another video. The rectangle on your right is a playlist of other videos that you may enjoy. Thanks again. Peace.